For as long as groups of people have existed, they've told stories of mysterious events, evil spirits that wander the earth, and monstrous beasts that prey on unsuspecting victims. Now, the Native Americans were no exception to this trend, from having their own versions of what we call Bigfoot to what might possibly be the most well-known one, the Skinwalker. Now, not all tribes have exactly what the same description or definition of what a skinwalker is or where they come from. They are all very eerily similar, and that really makes it hard to deny that this creature exists. But there is one that is very close to home to me that is very unsettling. So deep in the woods of the small town that I grew up in and that I call home, there's supposedly this extinct mud volcano that the last time it was measured to be active was supposedly strong enough that if it erupted, it could take out everything. I say take out, but it would affect everything within about a 100-mile radius of the eruption. So going back to about the 1800s, if not even before then, the local Creek Indians in this area, they gave it a specific name that in their culture would just flat out meant hell. So in their culture, this little mud volcano, this little boggy area deep in the woods of this little small town, was what they believed was a portal to hell. Now, part of this, and much like many cultures, every portal to hell comes with a guardian. It comes with some sacred beast that seems to protect it. Now, what they say protected it is where the story gets a little bit more strange, and this is where this story really comes back around to a story that I've told y'all in the past. So this creature, they refer to it as the Wog. So a rough description of what it is it was a large dog that was supposed to have these very big hind legs. Now, what's weird about this is people kind of explain it as like a mix between a wolf and a horse, which I don't know how that one could happen. But just talking about the size, it has the large back end of a horse, but it has like the front end of like a wolf. So whenever it sits down, it sits up really tall. But you can see that, it looks like a really big wolf, but it has this really big hind end and it sits up really tall. And whenever it's supposed to be stalking its prey, it will sit down on those hind legs and it will just watch. It'll observe and see exactly what is going on. Now, what's weird about this, though, is most of the time, people will write this off as it being a coyote. But the thing about it being a coyote is native groups and other like superstitions in the areas, coyotes are seen as these mischievous trickster type creatures. Now, another thing that this animal has in common with these mischievous trickster animals is that it's supposed to have this really long forked tongue, which, going back to most ancient depictions of demons, devils, whatever, they all have that forked tongue and they're mischievous and they want to deceive whoever they're coming in contact with. Now, it isn't said if this beast was seeming to go, it would go out and get the souls of people that it felt belongs to hell or that it believed it could claim as theirs. That one doesn't know. If this was the devil himself, or a demon, again, we don't know on that one. But now this is where the story relates to a story I've told y'all in the past. So this morning, on this particular morning, this was after, my infamous deal with the devil that I told you about, how I think I accidentally sold my soul. So this was a couple months after that. I got out of bed early for work, and not to sound cliche, but I worked mornings at the times, so this means that I would be up at about 3 a.m., which many of you know, 3 a.m. is supposed to be the witching hour and is most commonly associated with, paranormal stuff, aliens, and the like. And just like any other morning, I woke up, I took a shower, brushed my teeth, and I went downstairs to get dressed for work. Now, at the time, I noticed that I'd taken a little bit longer in the shower than I normally did, being extra tired or whatever. So I realized, all right, I need to hurry up and get dressed so I can go, so I'm not late for work. So I finished getting dressed. I grab my wallet, grab my keys, and I decide, all right, I'm just going to speed walk out the door, go to my car. We're going to be good. So as I'm walking out my door, at the time, my front door had the lock wasn't even in the wall. So you would have to slam the door to get it to actually shut and get it to lock all the way. So I'm walking out. I go to pull the door behind me and get that resistance and it like jerks because I didn't pull it hard enough. So this means I have to pull again, have to slam the door. Now, whenever I slam the door, this shakes like the whole house. It's a loud noise. And honestly, I don't know how it doesn't wake up the people that are in the house trying to sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning. So after I slam the door, I'm sitting there standing on my front porch, just looking out at the morning sky. And what's weird about it is normally there's always ambient light. You can always see some light in the sky, whether it's from the moon or from the stars or from like my neighbors' houses. And normally there's some sort of ambient noise, whether it's birds or bugs or cars. But this morning there was nothing. It's pitch black. It is eerily quiet. And that's just very out of the norm. And I'm kind of, I'm surprised. I'm sitting there like, what exactly is going on? And I'm sitting there waiting for, some noise to give me some sort of sense of, comfortableness, I guess. I'm sitting there, it's like, I don't hear anything. And after like a good solid 10 seconds of waiting for some noise to make me feel a little bit more comfortable, that's when I start to hear, it sounds like there's something walking on the side of my house. Now, normally if it would be like a dog or a cat, something small, you wouldn't hear it walking. Even with it being this quiet, you would have heard, or you wouldn't have heard something that small. Now I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm running late for work. I can tell this is on the side of my house. I don't have time to go look and see what's going on. Also, if it's something that big, I'm thinking maybe it's like a bear because it's not abnormal to have bears. I'm really not trying to get mauled to death on my way to work. So I decide I'm just going to go speed walk to my car like a little scared cat. And then I get in my car, drive down the road, look beside my house. I don't see anything. I'm like, okay, maybe I was just hearing something. But then as I'm going and as I'm pulling out of my neighborhood, this is when it starts to get a little bit weird. So I turn out onto the main road and there's this little dirt road that runs back up behind where I live. And sitting at the end of this dirt road on its hind legs was this really big dog-like looking creature. Now at the time, I'm thinking there's no way there's a wolf sitting watching me drive past because wolves don't exist in this area. Wolves don't exist in the state of Georgia in general. So I'm sitting there thinking, I was like, is this a coyote? I'm like, coyotes are pack animals. You shouldn't see a singular coyote, especially not at that time. And what was even weird about that is I remember very distinctly it sitting very upright on its back legs, looking like a very tall, menacing animal, just watching me as I drove past it. So being freaked out, I just go about my day, go to work. And that day, whenever I get home from work, I'm like, hey, I was like, did anybody see any markings, anything in the back, whether it's in the grass, whenever you went for your morning walk, went out, looked myself, there were no markings, none in the grass, none in the soft dirt that it would have been sitting in. And if it was sitting there, you would think there would be like an impression or something. If it had to have walked down the soft dirt road, there would be tracks. No, there is nothing. So now I'm sitting here thinking, if I made this mysterious deal, was this demon dog, did it come? Was it coming for my soul? This dog that is said to carry this fog with it when it shows up, was that ominous fog what was making it to where it was this weird, eerie darkness whenever I walked outside that morning? Was that what was, this ominous presence that was keeping these animals, these birds from chirping, making any noise, and that was what was making it so quiet? I don't know. I'll let you tell me. Anyway, so you can, the story kind of freaks me out. Still kind of freaks me out thinking about it, especially now that I've done more research into it. But if you like this video, drop a like, drop a comment, hit that subscribe notification. And if you want to stay updated, you can hit the notification bell and you can know when, 3 months, 3 weeks, however long passes, and I upload another one of these very poorly put together videos. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day.